You want to know like what's super aggravating for men, husbands, boyfriends, or whatever. Let's just keep it at husbands, right? One, this is one of many, but this is just one. Indecision. What do I mean? Like indecision. You can be with your spouse, your lady, and making a decision about whatever it is. Like there's always multiple decisions to be made in any aspect of life. But when there's an indecision and you involve us in that indecision, not that you confiding, but you're second guessing your decision. So I'm gonna give you a scenario. So if my wife is trying to make a decision on food or houses or whatever, right? And we make a decision on this is what we're gonna do, this is what we're gonna eat, this is where we're gonna go, whatever, right? And in the midst of that decision that we actively, collectively made this decision together that you were involved in or you started, and then in the midst of it, you say, "Oh man, I think we should have did X. I think we should have went here. I think we should have got this." And you're frustrated in that decision that we already made. It's aggravating for us as husbands and boyfriends because typically most husbands and boyfriends are and males period are very tunnel vision when it comes to making decisions. If we make a decision, we made that decision and counted all the costs, risks associated with that decision. What do I mean? In every decision that we make as a male, as a husband or spouse, or as a boyfriend, we counted the risks or the costs associated with that decision. Here's what I mean. In every decision that we make in life, there's always an alternative option that we could have went with. The reason why a lot of us men are very decision oriented or make a decision, we understand that and we're willing to accept whatever came with that decision. If we go to Popeyes, I'm okay with the decision that I made, knowing that it's gonna take them a while to cook the chicken. It's probably they're gonna say they ran out of the wings. They're gonna say like whatever the factors that we typically have to deal with, we counted all of that cost in the midst of that decision. So when you come and make an alternative decision in the midst of the option that we already picked, it gets very aggravating. For instance, if we go into Popeyes and then in the midst of us driving to Popeyes, in the Popeyes line, you said, "Man, we should have just got Wingstop." I didn't account for all of the risks, account for all of the things that associated with Wingstop. So when you making another option available when we already made a decision, it's frustrating. Oh man, we should have bought a house over here. Well, I considered every variable by us buying a home over here. The school district, the safety aspect, like it's so many things and so many checks in a man's mind because we're not speaking don't mean that we haven't considered every like if you do something or you go somewhere, there's always 10 things or more to consider in the decision that you make. That's why I don't typically believe 100% in multiple streams of whatever. Because what people don't understand is a good thing to say, but you put yourself in decision fatigue because you have to make so many. Every little thing has okay, if you're a content creator, you know that being a content creator, there's 100 things that go into being a content. You got to film, you got to have a thought process of the content. You have to film the content. You have to edit the content. You have to post the content. You have to reply to the content, and you have to give relevant call to actions or whatever else you're doing inside of this video. So I just named 6 or 7 things in the decision of that one thing that you're actually doing. If you're, as a spouse, are making multiple decisions in one thing, I didn't account for the 10 things that that option comes with. Let's pick a food thing again. Let's pick the Popeyes situation again. I considered the area that we got to go to order. I considered the long wait. I considered the time of day. I considered what we're going to eat and what options, if they say they out of this, because typically these places and always, like the McDonald's, always got the what do you call that? The ice cream machine is always down. So I got to consider, okay, maybe I get a frappe, or maybe I just get a frozen coffee. Like we consider so much in the one decision. When we're in the midst of a decision that we already made an option, and you bring another option, it muddies up our thought process. And then that's when frustration sets in. Now, if you feel me, put down in the comments, you feel me. If you learn something in this method, like now when you go to your spouse, ladies, and you like, damn, why he get mad? Well, he got mad because he considered the 100 costs associated with the one decision that we're making. If you say we going out with Karen and James, and then in the midst of that, you like, man, I should have invited Auntie so-and-so. We should call so-and-so. I didn't account for if this is a good space for them to be in, and then how I got to be hospitable in that with them. So when you're making that decision, it muddies up. So it's not like, oh, well, you need to think on your feet. No. Because we as husbands or spouse should be thinking about things, number one, as safety. Is this good for us right now? How is this financially feasible? Should we be doing something more productive, or should we be doing something to nourish our relationship, or should we do, like, it's a lot of other stuff that goes along with it. And I'm not saying that you can't have multiple options or multiple things that you present, but consider your husband or your spouse to be a final thought. So maybe take more time into I was with my niece. Side note, I was with my niece, and she was having a hard time deciding on which vehicle she wanted to go with. And in my mind, I said, we can make this really easy. What are the gotta haves? What are the deal breakers? What are I have to have this in the vehicle? Now that's gonna change which vehicle you go with, so that when we get to a spot, we're not disappointed that it don't have a sunroof, leather seats, alloy wheels. The gotta haves is at the forefront, so that we're not going to dealerships and we're not going to other places. Oh, it don't have this. Well, we knew that on the brochure. We knew that in the posting. We knew that in the online thing, so we don't even have to go there. Oh, it's not white. Oh, it's not red. It's not yellow. We don't even have to go. So now we can eliminate that option from the decision making, so that we don't waste time. And also we don't the dad, mom, uncle have to consider all the other things that come along with this place. Are they a reputable dealer? Are they going to give us a warranty? How is the payments? Do they have a history of messing over clients? Like it's a lot of other things in the one decision. So if you want to continue to irritate your spouse or your male friend or your boyfriend or your husband, continue with the multiple decisions, and you're going to see how. And I'm going to tell you, if he's not a good decision maker, then it's not going to change. But try it and see, like, dang, I see that. Let me work a little bit of this out in my mind first. Thank you.